These are the top 6 ways to prevent malpractice in your law firm. For new law firms, for old law firms, for solo, small, medium, or large law firms, these principles apply to everybody. They also help you avoid professional disputes, complaints against your license to the bar or other attorney regulating authority. Let's dive in. By the way, there is some rule that you're supposed to have odd numbers for these number type videos, but I thought of 6 things, so I'm going to do 6 things. What are you going to do? First way to prevent malpractice, have good time entries. This may seem surprising, but time entries are not just about getting paid. They're also about showing your work, getting credit for it, not only in terms of payment, but also in terms of proof that you served your client. I first received this advice from a partner I worked for who did a lot of legal malpractice defense. I never would have looked at time entries this way, but it turns out they're super important in court. So hot tip, whether it's for flat fee, subscription, legal insurance, or of course hourly cases, keep track of your time and describe what you did. Second big way to prevent malpractice at your law firm, client communication. It feels like every CLE I've ever attended says that communication is the #1 reason for bar complaints, and it goes for malpractice as well. Open, consistent, proactive communication between attorney and client is your lifeblood. That means consistent updates and perhaps even more importantly, consistent responses to your client. If they call you, if they email you, you shouldn't let time pass before responding. Now, I get it. Sometimes a client calls or emails and you got a million other things going on. What you need to do is send a placeholder response if you can't get back to them substantively right away. Hey, I received your email. I'm going to need some time to look at it and get back to you, but I want you to know I received it and I haven't forgotten about you. That's the gist. However you want to phrase it, however it's authentic to yourself, just let the client know you received their email and that you will send them a substantive response. The placeholder email saves your day and saves your hide. Third way to prevent malpractice at your firm is to have all clients sign engagement letters. It amazes me how few firms do this. You must do it to protect yourself, to ensure payment, and basically just to get the client relationship started on the right foot. So how does it prevent malpractice? Well, it sets expectations up front. It defines the scope of your relationship. If you don't have a signed engagement letter, which accurately describes the scope of your representation, you greatly increase the likelihood that something outside of the scope of your engagement will go wrong and the client will be blaming you. A signed engagement letter that defines your scope cuts off your client's ability to do that, and therefore it protects you. It's fair to you and fair to the client. I think the reason a lot of law firms don't use engagement letters is because it can be hard to craft one for every single situation, every different fee type. That's why we've made this process a lot easier in Practist. One thing that can make engagement letters so complicated is the different fee types require different language in your engagement letters. In Practist, the engagement letters live within the system. They come preloaded with different language for each type of fee, which of course you can edit to meet your own needs. What this does is it creates a smart automation where it auto-populates correct language based on fee type without you having to do anything. When you enter a new case, you simply select your type of fee, and the system only asks you the questions that are relevant to your fee type. This is good because if you're trying to train an admin to enter new cases for you, you don't have to train them on which fields to fill in or ignore in a sea of a million different fields. It only asks for the relevant information. So you enter that in, then when you go to accept the case and send the engagement letter, everything is automatically where you want it, how you want it. Then you send the engagement letter to the client directly through the app with just the click of a button. And when they sign, it automatically updates the case to open status and assigns you a task to begin working on the case. Fourth way to prevent malpractice at your firm, take CLEs seriously. They are required for a reason. I'm talking about continuing legal education classes. Sure, you could phone it in and do whatever is easiest, but actually try to learn from those things. And whether it's a formal CLE or just your own study, you need to keep learning. It's not enough to be a good lawyer in the beginning. You have to keep working at it. I think Abraham Lincoln said, give me 4 hours to cut down a tree and I'll spend the first 3 hours sharpening the saw, something like that. You really need to invest time and mental energy into your craft. It also helps you expand into new practice areas if you are not content in your current practice area or if you feel like you're being pigeonholed. So, it's nice to be able to expand as long as you can do it within the bounds of competency. So whether it's about becoming a good lawyer in a new area, or remaining a good lawyer, you got to sharpen that saw. Continually learn and study, and remember that it is a practice. Fifth way to prevent malpractice, remember, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. This is like a military concept, I think, from the Navy SEALs. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Don't rush your pleadings, don't rush your emails. Set a time delay on sending your emails. Something I learned how to do the hard way. Review any draft work product. Is there attorney-client privilege? Comment in a document, for example. Is there a major error that's going to come back and haunt you? Are the redactions done correctly? Take the time to do it right. You'll save yourself time, headache, heartache in the future. Sixth big way to prevent malpractice: take care of yourself and take care of your team. Another large source of attorney complaints and malpractice stems from mental health and substance abuse, so there's no shame in asking for help. Use the resources available to you, whether through your bar association, other professional help, or through your own support system. We have breathing exercises and links for valuable help resources within Practice, but there are a million different ways to find those. So just take the time to do it, take care of yourself, and make sure your team's taking care of themselves as well. Hope you enjoyed the video. Comment, like, subscribe, check out Practist Law Practice Management Software, and thank you for watching.